Hello everyone, welcome to the Where is the Music podcast. Today I wanted to share with you the beauty of one of my favorite Chopin pieces. This is a Mazurka, Opus 41, number 4 in C sharp minor. And wanted to say a couple of things before we play it. Mazurkas are an interesting case. Mazurkas as a genres of music, but also as a type of dance, has pretty much gone out of fashion. Of course, in Poland, where Chopin is from, everyone knows what a mazurka is and possibly even how to dance it. But outside of Poland is unknown. More than that, if it wasn't for Chopin's mazurkas, for piano, the genre would be probably almost completely forgotten or unknown to the world stage. So Chopin has written a great number of mazurkas. My edition contains more than 40, but probably there are some more that are not included in here. He possibly has written something around 60. They are small pieces, typical romantic character piece, and they've been published at generally groups of 4 at the time. To be fair, it is not often clear whether 4 mazurkas constitute a unit, because sometimes the keys, very often the keys don't match, and so it is not uncommon to find to attend concerts where mazurkas are played as just single pieces disconnected from their opus number. I also wanted to underline a fact about Chopin's approach to mazurkas. He has been writing mazurkas all his life. The mazurka as a whole in his output seems to be kind of a personal journal, a musical journal, quite different from other works, for example, polonaise or preludes or etudes. Each polonaise, for example, is generally a larger, more important piece, and it might have taken a longer time to complete. Etudes are an opus all on its own, either the opus 10 or the opus 25. They are separated by a number of years, and the approach is similar throughout. The preludes is a collection of small aphorisms. I hope one day I'm going to talk about the preludes in a podcast. Mazurkas are a little bit different because they seems to be little memories from a daily journal that the composer has taken throughout his life. It is a personal recollection filled with humor, nostalgia, joy, a sense of overwhelming energy at times, and at other times a sense of deep sorrow. The common theme, and possibly the reason why Chopin has chosen the mazurka as the ground on which to invent and create his music, the common theme is a dance from the past, something that has been lost, something that was carrying some memory, some happy memory, and possibly there is in Chopin this idea that a joyful dance can be brought back to life through piano, and with it all its attached memories and nostalgia and all the beautiful but also sometimes sad feelings attached to it. So mazurkas already for Chopin is a genre on its dawn. He is inviting us to look into this genre of music without expecting really dance music, but trying to imagine how would it feel to be dancing on this rhythm. In this particular example, Opus 41 number 4, Chopin starts very subtly with a single melody. It's looks like it's coming from far away and picking up momentum as closer it comes. Notice how the contour of the melody is circulating up and down. Doesn't seem to go much farther away and repeats. So the melody of this mazurka, and if you know them or if you want to listen to them, I encourage you strongly to do so. The contour of the melody is not particularly singable. It would be hard to put words under it. And although we find that the rhythm kind of stays the same, repeats, but in this particular case it's just very circular, is not interesting per se. There isn't a great melodic creativity here. However, through its circularity, it already hints at something that should be enjoyed and appreciated through its energy and rhythm, like a dance, rather than through its melodic, more, let's say, intellectual content. There is also something interesting in relationship to the key. C sharp minor wants these notes. Right? But Chopin writes this melody in this way. This note is outside. It's kind of a mistake. Should be like that. It's a tiny little difference, but if you notice, it makes us wonder, why would that really matter? Although the effect is clear, it sounds a bit more archaic. How and why? Well, a C sharp minor key with that note is perhaps better described as a mode, not really as the C sharp minor key the way we know it. So by employing an alternative minor mode, Chopin is subtly and subliminally suggesting that we are not looking at music that is contemporary to his time, but belongs to an ancient lost past. It's just a single note, but is enough to add a bit of archaism to it, ancient feel, something that doesn't belong anymore to this contemporary world. It continues in the major mode, but not the contour, nor the main rhythm, and nor this archaic feel from the past has really changed. Okay, so in this case, you hear the wrong note. Of course, only great composers like Chopin can do things that in any other context will sound wrong or weird. In this context, is just perfect. Now, the response to this circular, quite square melody is, to me, the touch of genius. This is how it responds. Wow, isn't that something bursting with joy and energy and rhythm? How completely unrelated with what we just heard in the very beginning. The genius to me is being able to put things that are completely different from each other, but it sounds a perfect match. How does this work? How can one play something initially so linear characterized by a clear, precise, clean, repetitive, recognizable feel with something completely different? And expect us to just make sense of it. Well, obviously we make sense of it because Chopin's musicality is trashing all the rules of academic thematic development. A lesser composer would have probably tried to maintain the initial idea and develop it further. Chopin just cuts and goes into a completely different world. It's loud, is boasting with energy, is moving forward. There isn't really a melody. That's not a melody, and later on, even that is not really a melody. It sounds like energy, pure energy, almost like a thrill. How come then these two parts work perfectly? Well, on one level they are symmetric. Proportion-wise, they last exactly the same number of bars. So there is a sense that we are part of the same dance once again. But there is this also aspect of black and white. The first half, the nice circular melody, is orderly, is quiet, is regular, while the second one is chaotic, loud, and completely unpredictable. The first one is soft and delicate, while the second one is loud and noisy. The first one is hesitating. You can hear the sense of hesitation, but in here there is jumping forward. Kind of like someone who can't wait to throw themselves into the dance and start dancing. Notice also the first half is in minor, while this one is in major. Minor and major. Okay, so genius. Now the next phrase is a monument, I think, to hesitation. Chopin is able to portray in a single melody something so delicate and so precise, like hesitation. Isn't that something? Notice, I'll play it again. Notice how the melody kind of can't really move forward. This is a dissonance. And second attempt. How interesting. So the beauty, one of the beauty of this Mazurka, which also is similar to other ones, is this ability of Chopin to take us through an emotional roller coaster. A beginning delicate, from far away, very soft, quite hesitating, and it burst into a dance made of joy and energy, and it stops into this very intimate, personal sense of, once again, hesitation, but drawn in a completely different way from the beginning. I wish I had the time and the ability to quickly give you hints on everything else that happens here, but although despite being a short piece, there is so much. I wanted to though pick up a couple of extra passages. This one is right before the so-called, something that we would call the recapitulation. Notice the Mazurka is still there, but has completely changed. This seems to me like a friendly dance of brotherhood and sisterhood. Again, this sense of hesitation, and now. Okay, the main opening theme, not the main, just the opening one, comes back in this very introspective feel. It looks like Chopin is taking us through a variety of memories that have to do with playing and dancing with your fellow friends, family, something filled with joy and energy, and other moments, other dances that you dance by yourself introspectively, maybe just inside yourself. This is the type of very personal, let's say, introspection and reflection that will slowly come into the outer world. More energy. Definitely here we are in the recapitulation that will lead us towards the ending. So, as you see, quite a short journey, but emotionally really a roller coaster. I hope this podcast about Chopin's Mazurka has given you some points of investigation and to be curious about it. I'm sure many of you knew this piece already, and perhaps a slower conversation like this one has allowed you to discover things you haven't before. I'm gonna make sure I'll add some links to performances of this Mazurka. The latest one that I found personally that I liked was by Stanislav Bunin, but I'm gonna play my own home version of it. Look forward to our next episode of Where is the Music podcast.